friends, my name is Jenny Mano. Welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to share with you this week a bit of a surprise. I have two surprises. This week, one, I'm working with Stencilgirl products. I'm super excited to show you what I came up with. And two, I thought I would give you a sneak peek as to what the patrons receive on my Patreon channel. I'm going to share with you a full-length video so you guys can see and hear all the details and how I instruct, and we get to have fun together and play. So thank you for being here. Let's get started. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to this week's How To Tuesday. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. This is now February, and I can't even believe it, we're already in the month of February. Wow. Just wow. I am excited because in this month of February, I actually am going to be working with Stencilgirl Stencils. And this video, this How To Tuesday video, would be put up on their blog post. So yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to be working with Stencilgirl products and creating another abstract portrait with them. I mean, the choices of Stencilgirl alone, I've had Stencilgirls forever, Stencilgirl products. I love their stuff. I remember when I have been to Arts Unraveled in Arizona. It's a retreat. I think it's still going on. And they would have a booth there. One day out of the retreat for the week, they would have a booth there, and I would just be like, la, 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 yum, 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 as you go through and look at all the stencils. So I'm super stoked to be creating a piece with strictly Stencilgirl products. Again, we're going to do an abstract portrait. And really quick, I'm going to show you the stencils that I'm going to use. The stencils that I have, I may not use all of them, but it's a big possibility that I do. We'll just see. We're just going to go with it, right? Okay, so the first one here is a repetition stencil, and it is M080. I'm giving you the names and writing the numbers so that you guys, if you like the stencil during the process, you can get one yourself. I will also include a link to Stencilgirl products and include the numbers and the names so you guys, if you really like it, just make note if you like something. This one reminds me of really rad whimsical rainbows, and I'm all for the rainbow and the whimsical. So it was like, hey, this is yours, Jenny. It actually said that. This is yours, Jenny, on the site. Whimsical Waves S321 is that one. And this one, again, look at this. Curves. It's the Curves product, number S430. I mean, think about all the little really amazing, cool things. If you're a Zentangler like myself, I love to Zentangle and doodle and do, lots of shade and shadow and color. And if you're one of those, this is like the perfect stencil for these spaces. Yes. And this one I just love. I love pattern. I love texture. I love movement, but I like it to be a little irregular, not so perfect all the time. So did I tell you about this one? Yeah, Curves product. And then this one is Stone and Mortar. Totally makes sense, right? It's like a, what's it called? Like a stone path or gravel path. Not a gravel path, but like a stone walkway or cobblestone. That's what I was looking for. Cobblestone streets, so cool. And this one is S375, called Stone and Mortar. And this one, I mean, I don't even really hype this one, right? It's just so incredibly cool. So, I don't know if you can see that. You put it there. Nope, it disappears. What do I have on the back of this? This is a test sheet. Can you see on that? Nope. How about like that? Hey, there we go. That's better. It is called Scribble Scratch Handwriting, L266. This is amazing. Amazing. And what's cool about stencils is that you don't have to use the entire thing unless you choose to. You could take pieces of it. You could say, oh, I really like this section, and I'm just going to repeat that around and around and around, move it around. With all of these. And this is one way to look at the stencil, but I can turn it this way. I can turn it this way. I can turn it this way. Like this way, right, automatically becomes scales to me, like on a mermaid tail. I mean, wow, so cool. This could be hills off in the distance. This could be hair, excuse me, hair on top of somebody. This could be also hair, depending on how you want it to look. Another way to do hair. This could be texture on a shirt. If you're doing portrait work, we usually have like the torso showing. This could be on the shirt part of the outfit or in the background, around the focus, the main focus. And this one is just like, if you follow me for a while, I love my dots and marks and stripes and and all this. And this is, oh, really, this one might, yes, this is another one that said, Jenny, this is for you. They all did, actually, or I wouldn't have them. So we're going to play with these. I'm going to work on Fabriana Hot Press 140 pound watercolor paper. And I've already taped it down with my Pro Artist tape, which is right there, if you can see that. Pro Artist tape. And this is 9 by 12. Got that already to go. Move that out of the way now. And I'm also, you might see over here, I see some soft tools. That's because we're gonna use some pan pastels. Yes, pan pastels. Y'all know, if you followed me, if you don't follow me and you're new to my page, my channel, I'm obsessed with anything chalk pastel. Pan pastels, chalk pastel pencils, charcoal, chalk pastels themselves. You know, I actually think I might grab some chalk pastels. I have my little organizers in my video, my first back video for this year in January. I have, these are from IKEA, and they attach to the wall. They have like little racks that sit in pegboards, and then they slide into them, and they're just, look, I mean, I could keep them separated by color, which I love. So these are my soft tools for this, and then these are just obviously random mark making, glorious color. Look at all that glorious. Oh. Yes. And then look at there's the neon pink. Oh boy. Honestly, I think that's Soft Form by Diane Townsend. Yeah, that's a soft one because I got a neon palette. Now, the colors are incredible. They're very soft and crumbly. That's the only downfall with these. But the colors, once you lay them down, and they're just magic. So I'm willing to deal with the soft and crumbly. Speaking of soft and crumbly, when I have the dust, I use this handheld mini vac. Once I got a dust pile, because you don't want to blow any of this stuff away. It's not really good to breathe in. So you could, if you choose to, work with a mask and gloves if you want to. Artists do that. Pastel artists do that. Work in a well-ventilated area. But you can also, instead of blowing, you know, place this down over the dust, turn it on, and gently tap it and pick it up so that there's no more dust. No more dust. Okay, so that's my little handy-dandy tool there. I have my black and white General's charcoal pencils, which are like a staple. I should just keep them in my purse at all times, right? Because I use them all the time. I get a couple because I tend to sometimes wear them down because I get really into using them. I gotta have a blending stump. I have my Tombow Mononoke eraser. I was gonna use smaller brushes, but I've changed my mind. A big just eraser here. You know what I didn't grab was a pencil. I didn't grab a pencil. No, I don't want that. Nope, I don't want that either. Pencil, just to do a light sketch. I'm not going to do a lot of drawing with it other than just the initial sketch. So anything works. And then, yeah, so there's that. And then this is my black dustless eraser as I was holding it. And then I'm going to get these out of the way because this guy right here, I'm going to do, oh, see, it's okay though, I don't mind. It's all going to get covered. I'm going to use my white gesso to paint over this. Why do you ask? It's already white. Well, because pastel, chalk pastel, and pan pastels really love a tooth to the paper, and gesso gives it that. Gesso gives it the tooth that it needs. You could also do black gesso. Oh, I wonder if I should do black gesso. You know what? I'm going to stick with white. I might do another piece of black, but right now I'm going to do white because this is what I had in my mind. So I'm going to put this on, you know, nice even coat. I'm not going to go bonkers crazy with it, but I want a nice coat because I do want to create a tooth on this paper. This, you can go directly onto this. The tooth will create less dust. If you do it directly onto this, then you will have more dust, which is fine. You have your little handy dandy thing right here to do it. To pick it up if you have that. If you don't, another way you could have taped this down is put tape upside down all the way around the sides and then taped it down here so that some extra dust will catch into the tape that's facing up like this. But the easiest way to do it without all the tape and all that kind of stuff, if you don't have the right papers, is to use gesso, black or white gesso, or clear. You can do clear too. And cover the paper, whatever substrate you're working on, and then let it dry, obviously, and then you can start working on it. It loves the tooth. And it feels good too when you're working with it. It feels good. And the couple last things I have are my Carbothello chalk pastel pencils. Still working in the pastel family. I have a whole bunch here, whole bunch of colors, lots of colors. And then finally, I grabbed my Latour Sennelier Fixative, Pastel Fixative. I have tried numerous pastel sealers. It does for charcoal too, and chalk pastel and pastel pan pastels. This is the best one I found. A few, like 2 to 3 inches away from it, in a well ventilated area. You know, swipe back and forth as you spray. You know, do like 2 to 3 coats. I always tap it, you know, after the first coat to see where, you know, if it's a lot. If I do a little bit of charcoal and pastel, I don't really bother with this, but if there's a lot, which this piece will have, I'm going to definitely seal it with this stuff. And this stuff works really great. All the things that I've mentioned, I will have in the description box, the links to all of that. And finally, this is little charcoal satchel. I might use it as well. So I may or may not. I have it here just in case. Okay, so I'm going to clean up a little bit so that I can get situated. Super excited again to be working with Stencilgirl's products because they're totally rad and there's a bajillion of them. And you know, like once you go to the site and you start looking and you're just like, you fall in love with every single one, just about every single one. And you're like, you know, 3 hours later, I found every stencil that I could possibly ever want into the, you know, in my life until the new ones come out. So it's super fun and I'm super excited to share this with you. Okay, you guys, let me clean up and I will be right back. Okay, so first of all, I want to go really quick over the pastel pan pastels that I grabbed. I may or may not use all of them, but I just wanted to give a little shout out to them. These are my skin tones, some of my skin tones. I don't have them all. I'm just using these. This is red iron oxide tint. This is orange tint. This is burnt sienna shade. And then I grabbed the rainbow colors of the rainbow. This is turquoise. This is bright yellow green shade. This is diary light yellow. That's a mouthful. Orange. Hey, look. Oh, that's because it was sitting on something else. This is permanent red. That sounds scary. Just kidding. This is violet. I kind of like that though. And this is magenta shade. So those are the colors that I grabbed to play with for pan pastels. Last month in January, like I was saying, my first lesson back, I did a whole pan pastel lesson, like a nice, very thorough. I gave you 2 different subjects, 2 different projects, an abstract portrait and a more realistic portrait. So if you're curious about how to use pan pastels, just go to last month and you'll see it there. Okay. All right. So first things first, I already laid down the gesso. I thought that would be an obvious and kind of boring for you guys to watch. So I laid down gesso and I dried it. And you can see that there's some of the pastels, or I'm not sure where it came from. It might have come from these are the foam brushes, or sorry, these are soft palette brushes, SOFFT. These are for Pan Pastels, sells them together. If you get a kit, you usually get these and you can also buy them separately. They might have sprinkled some dust and smeared, but all of this is going to be covered, so I really don't care. I really don't care. It's totally fine. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to sketch out a face. I'm not going to do a lot of erasing because I have laid down gesso and it's going to be smeary. I don't really care, being that I'm a abstract portrait artist, I don't mind that there's smears and smudges. I know that I trust myself. That's why we practice, right? You trust yourself to know if you don't like something, you trust yourself to know, because we practice so much that you can fix it, right? You can tweak it because we have the tools in our toolbox to be able to go and keep pushing forward. So all of this doesn't matter to me because I'm going to cover it. And I also am somebody who really likes to see the work underneath. So first things first, I'm going to lay in her nose, just soft sketches. Love it. Okay. Now, technically you would take from this nostril is the corner of her eye. I am not that girl. I like to have my eyes a little bit more wide set. So we're gonna use that guideline. Let's see. Okay. She looks a little perplexed right now with her mouth like that, huh? This is just me sketching. I'm not doing a big refining right now with my graphite. I'm just laying out my thoughts. Okay, so now I do think I want to bring down her chin and mouth a little. I have to flip my board so that I can at least attempt to get something similar on the other side. Now, because I have laid the gesso down, like I said before, the paper has a tooth on it. I tried to smooth it out so it wasn't so, I didn't want a lot of texture. You're going to get some texture. It's okay. Just quick sketching it out. Keep in mind that when I do my stencils, not only will I use them in the background, but I will use them on her probably. Just do a quick little ear. I love ears. I never draw ears like they're, you know, super realistic. I like to have them be a lot of personality. Okay, so when you do that, I was getting to the stencil part. Love myself an exaggerated neck and small shoulder selection here. Okay, and now to decide how I'm going to look at these stencils. I want to see what I'm going to do. Whoops. Oh. Kind of like I said earlier, I think I want this to be her hair. So I need to think about where I'm going to. Okay, so this will be her fabulous hair. Okay, so first things first, I want to start with her face. I'm going to come in with my, oh, and really quick, I didn't mention before, with these tools, they come with a bunch of different, like you can replace these foam heads a lot, all the time if you want to. But you don't, like if I work, you know, I had all those colors I showed you, I don't need a tool for every single color. I usually try to keep a warm and a cool on the foam brush, and these are the types. They come with a bunch of different sizes. These are the types, these are the two that I like to use a lot. Obviously this one's for more finer detail, and this one kind of just the way it's formed goes in really well all over. But the magic of these is, let me grab a different one, is that you can just take it and just wipe it off. See the stuff come off there? Clean it off. And come in, I'm going to come in with this guy and just lay down color. And it doesn't have that other color on it. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. And working on top of gesso, it's very smooth. Let me move this one real quick. I'm going to come in with all kinds of color. Like I said, I don't care. I do not mind seeing all these lines. I personally love to see the work in someone's piece. I just think it's kind of cool to see what their thought process was. Like a little peek into their brain. And let me do, there's going to be so much color, you guys, it doesn't matter. It won't matter. Oh, did I grab the, I think, no, yeah, maybe. I should have done this color first, but we're going to go with it. I'm just laying in the shadows. I should grab, let me just do this, finish this, and then I'll grab my darker one. I'm telling you, it's like butter. Guys, it's like butter, working on butter. So I'm going to come in and start laying in shadows. Notice I didn't change my brush or clean my brush because they're all kind of the same portrait. Like they're the portrait colors, so I trust all of them to work well together. But you can. Like this one, after this one, I might clean it just because it's a little darker than the others. Now I won't. I cleaned a little bit so that I could come back in and start blending out. Start having some fun with the blend out. Laying in some shadows. Don't be afraid to play and push. It's just paper, it's just art supplies, right? It's kind of like working, if you've worked with alcohol markers before, you know, you lay your lightest color first, and then the next color, deeper color, and then you come back in with a lighter one and start to blend it out again. Clean that up a little. Okay, I'm going to get my little vacuum thingy here because I want to clean up some of the... Clean up some of the dust. Now, how I usually do my portraits is that I'll lay down color and then like traditional skin color, and then I'll come in with non-traditional skin color and I play. Okay, so that where that's coming into play is, wait, you know what? How do I want to do that? Let me think about this. Do I want to do the skin tone? Let's start with that. Let me do the neck really quick. Oh, look, I almost forgot the ears. Per my usual. The beginnings. The beginnings. Just a little shadow. Let's get this. I went in with the lighter color just to soften it some. Okay. Oops. Now, wait, that's not all picked up. And the cool part too about this stuff is that it erases really well. Maybe you don't like a color so much. Okay, so now I'm going to start coming in with the non-traditional colors. Just start layering. First things first, I'm going to do. Give her some personality. You know, this isn't as black for me because of the gesso. It's not gripping as dark as I prefer. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I am willing to take a chance. Okay, so I'm just going to grab some of my favorite colors. Some of my favorites. And we're going to play. Get some lights, some darks. I have this. I love orange and this color together, the combo it makes. putting some shadow in. This is a dirty, it's got like charcoal on it, the blending stump itself. And a lot of the time it needs like one coat, the first coat, and then once you get that first coat in, you can start building on it pretty well. And you can use a blending stump if you want. Being that this has some texture on it because of the gesso, I have a blending stump where I keep one side cool and one side warm. I can use it. I don't use this a ton because sometimes it tends to pick up more color than leave. Oh! I just threw that in the water. Thankfully, the only side that hit was the back side. Carbothello chalk pastel pencils. These guys are water soluble. I don't usually use them that way because I like the strength of the pigment. I prefer the it dilutes it, that's why. Sometimes it dilutes and I don't like the diluted. Just building the layers, adding the shadows. We'll get to the stencils, the fun of the stencils, shortly. I'm going to clean her up. I have an idea for cleaning her up. Let me grab one. There we go. I'm going to pick up some of the dust. Grabbing some of the yellow. Lots of layers with this. When you work in the pastels and the abstract, you can apply lots and lots of layers. It's a push and a pull, huh? We've talked about this before. It's a push and a pull to your color. Where is... Oops, keeps rolling. The white of the eye isn't really white. So we're going to push it back some. And then put a little bit of the white charcoal to go over it so it's not so stark white. I love a dramatic eye. Lots of dark and smudgies. I also love the purple and orange together. There we go. So just take some time to build up the layers and just start to see the personality come through. See her personality shine through. So I'm feeling really good about that side. Start working on the other side. Just building my shadows. Oops, I did something there I shouldn't have done. I need to put the blue here. I forgot. Okay, now come back in, make it richer. Give it lots of drama. Whoops. I use my purples and my dark teals as like the shadow, like if I were to go in with, you know, if it was graphite, like blacks and grays, and if it's like skin tones, instead of my sepias, or not sepias, my burnt siennas and raw umbers and that, the purples and the turquoise become those colors. I'm loving her. I think she looks fabulous. Okay, I need some more of this happening. And some more of this happening up here. I think, where was that color? There it is. It's the one that flew out of my hand. Now, I am loving what's happening with her texture. There's a lot of texture happening because of the brush strokes. I am loving it. Love, love it. Darken this some. Okay. Let's do, might have to get a white pen for that. I think I might. Let me pick up some dust. We're gonna give her, let's see what this looks like. Some purple eyebrows. And then we'll go in with a little bit of black and do some hairs. And then I think I'm going to come in with some white gesso and a fine brush and pop in some whites. Yeah. Because the charcoal, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's being a little persnickety. Doing the highlights. That's that for now. Remember, these are water soluble, so that's going to pick up some of the color that's behind it. I'm not done with that yet, but we got a good start. Okay, so where is this one? This one. Ooh, see, I didn't clean it. It's okay though, because I really love those colors together. Orange and this magenta, beautiful colors together. I almost stuck that in my water. No, 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 that's bad. Don't do that. Okay, so now we're gonna take, because I want to do like a little shadow down here. Take my dark turquoise. And then some orange. I love to use purple on the lips as a shadow. I just think it looks really nice. I think it looks very nice. And then I go back in with my black and just define the darkest parts. Come here to a little. Where's that paintbrush? It's amazing what a good highlight can do, huh? Okay, so there's that. It's amazing how just the time you take the time, nice and patient, how things come together. Okay, now we're gonna play with the stencils. They're attacking each other. So here, I want to get something that's pretty involved. It has a lot of, maybe I go this way? Nope. Has a lot of texture. And because I have these pops of purple in there, I'm going to grab my purple. I do not think it's going to stay at just purple. I could be wrong though. I'm just going to see where the wind takes us, right? I'm going to keep it just in her neck and chest area. This is the Scribble Scratch handwriting one. And then I'm going to come in with the magenta, because why not? Do a little ombre effect. Ooh, this is looking cool. See, the dominant colors in her face are orange, this pink, and this purple. So guess what's coming up next? This goes on, the pan pastels work really well with this stencil, with the stencils. Before I remove the stencil, I'm gonna take my little vacuum to it. Okay. Try to pick up as much dust as I can before I pick up the stencil. Ready for the reveal. Ho ho ho, yeah. Look at that. Oh, she looks rad. I'm excited. I'm excited. Okay. I need a little bit of nope. I'm just gonna leave that there. Where'd my purple go? I want to make this a little darker down here. Just to kind of help it pop a little. I'm doing this, I'm going around the edges just a tiny bit to give some depth, and I'm going to grab my little soft tool. If you don't have a soft tool, you can use an eyeshadow applicator or a Q-tip. I know it looks a little crumbly right now, but I haven't vacuumed up yet. I'm just contributing to the fade that's happening. And then I'm just going to soften it out some. And I need a small thin eraser. I don't know if I have one up here. I guess I'll just have this. Make this on the top. Oop, I gotta be careful. Okay, can't do that. Can't do that. Okay. She looks very cool, you guys. Very, very cool. Now we're gonna go for her hair. I'm gonna be very ambitious here because I'm crazy like that. Okay, got my deep breaths. Be ambitious here. Oops. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to grab some painter's tape and be right back. Hang on one sec. I don't want my stencil to move. I don't want my stencil to move on me. No, thank you. Sorry. Just going to put a little tack down on there. I'm not touching the piece. I'm just putting it on the border. I'm not covering stencil either. I'm gonna attempt rainbow. Fingers crossed. And the cool part is I get to decide where it's going to go. How far I want to take it. Let me pick up the dust. I'm going to do this just a little. Okay. I am very pleased with that. So cool. Okay, back to the red. I have to see, I'm trying to follow, and I've already, I forgot to do that, but that's okay because I've got an idea. I'm trying to follow the line of the hair that I drew. Pay close attention to that so you don't end up following the stencil. I mean, you could do all of that and then come back in and clean it up if you wanted to, but it's up to you. This is the one way I'm doing it. One person's way. Is it going to be perfectly rainbowy? Probably not. I'm okay with that. Remember, when the stencil comes off, you won't see, it won't be as dynamic a transition. It'll be more subtle because the pattern will just be what's left is revealed. So that's kind of cool. You have to think kind of in opposites when you do this. Orange, yellow. I broke my own rule. I really should. Try to get those little, if you use the stencil whimsical waves, try to get the little dots that are in here because they're tiny and you want to make sure you take advantage of those. Let's get back to do some blue here. I can see that these dots are not full. she is going to be a whole bunch of fabulousness. Yes, please. These stencils are magical. I mean, to try to do this freehand, a lot of people wouldn't even attempt, right? Because to do it freehand, because it's just too hard. But this is another way, another approach, a new approach to doing it, to you know, find another option, finding another way, another possibility. So you don't have to go, never mind. You can actually do it. Follow through and do it. I like that the colors are overlapping because they'll overlap in the pattern too. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. There we go. I gotta stop doing that. Yeah, it looks variegated in the paper when you pick it up. Red, orange, yellow. I always have to do it in my head. Over every single time I have to do it that way. Get that dot. This turquoise is one of my favorite colors. I'm gonna have to move it. No! Bummer. For me to see where my lines are. Okay, I need to pick up some of this. Move these out of the way really quick because I don't want to, but I have to. Look at how rad that looks, you guys. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, how do I want to do this? I guess like so. Trying not to tape down onto the paper. I have to be very close attention here now. Try not to go into the face. follow the hairline that I've created. I think it cuts off right there. Okay. This thing looks so pretty. The stencil itself. It's like a work of art in itself right there. It's pretty cool. Okay. Green, going in with the green. I gotta follow the line up. Look at these colors. The pigments are just wowza. Almost done. I'm almost done, I think. Oh, no, wrong brush. I think. Let me see. Okay. Look at that work bar right there. It's so pretty. Okay. Now I'm gonna come in with my purples and my teals. We're gonna build some shadows up here. I kind of already did when I did the what's it called? The pan pastel, when I first laid that down. So, you know, I want it to look like the hair is on top of the head instead of part of, like, it's just flat against the head. Smooth it out some. I'm going to bring some of this up in here. No, not that one. Yeah, that one. Is that the one? I don't think that's the one. Where is that pink? There it is. I haven't used it yet. All kind of the same color palettes going on through here. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black gesso. Because we're gonna clean this girl up. Ugh. I can't open it up right back. Okay, so here we go. Grab the brush. This is one of my favorite tricks. And aside from that, it just looks really cool. It makes everything pop. You have to take your time. So I will fast forward through this because it's going to all be the same. When you're putting on your black gesso, try to get all the brush strokes out because you want it to dry all at the same time. And if you have like parts that are lumpier, it may look dry, but because it's formed a skin, but it's not, and you could accidentally smear it and be very sad. Now at this point I can decide if I want a dry brush stroke on the edges to give it a kind of an abstract, cool, like rough look, but I think I want it solid because there's a lot of detail going on, a lot of pattern, and I want to keep it clean, as clean as I can. So what I meant by dry brush, I could do something like this, watch, and have the edges be rough like that, which I absolutely love, but I don't want my sides to take away from what's happening with my girdle, and it would. So we're going to make it solid. Be so cool once I peel back, once I do the peel and reveal and peel back the frame. You have that crisp white frame. Who doesn't love that? I still have my pastels and my stencils to use. This girl's getting all patterned up. She's going to have all kinds of patterns going on. These guys, I still have these guys to play with. Definitely not going to use them all, but I have these guys to play with. Okay, so now I'm going to take this fluorescent pink, because why not? Because I'm feeling it, so I'm gonna put some. I want to do like, see what it'll. I'm gonna grab. Now what's cool is happening is that it's giving her a shadow. It's like giving her a glow, I should say. But it's also catching in the gesso, the strokes of the black gesso. So there's this really cool texture happening. Be careful because everything on here is pastel. Some form of pastel. Just wanted to give her like a cool little glow. A little glow about her because she's so fabulous. And I love, I'll show you here, let me show you what it looks like. So that's before, which is actually very cool too. And then there's that, and you can see it got into the strokes of the pastel. which made it that much more rad. Okay. I'm just using a dry paintbrush. Nothing wet on it, no water at all. You can decide if you want to brush it all out. I dig that's happening right here, the little black line that's around, kind of highlighting her. So that's what we're going to leave it as, with the pop of pink. I can come back to and pick up if I've covered some of that black. Easy peasy to erase. I love the crisp line of the black. Okay. Remember, we're going to spray all this at the end. Whoop, almost dropped it. Don't need to cover it all. Can you see that? I like that it's mostly subtle and then there's just tiny pops of color, of pigment. I like that very much. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and I want to start pushing things forward, like the darkest bits. Let's see, let's try this one. Just a little shadow there. Come back here. There's things that I'm tying it in because I put this black in now and I really want certain parts to shine through. Really want parts to like come forward because there is a lot going on. Like her face is super important to me, but so is the hair, and because the hair and the body actually, but they got really busy, so I need to push her forward again. And one of the tricks is by adding a dark color to pull this back into her. You don't want her to suffocate by all the color, from all the color. Now, this one, I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna grab my white, and put you back and see what we got. Just in a few spots. Super subtle. I was brushing. Let's see what tapping looks like. This one's called Repetition Stencil. Oops, let's keep that side going. Soften a little so it's not so like in your face. Notice I'm not just following the pattern. I'm kind of creating my own pattern with these shapes. I don't mind if they overlap some. Now she's kind of getting very digital to me. But she might be close to being done. Decide where you want it to, what parts you want to pop forward, if you want any to stand out. Like these are really bright, these are subtle. I put a bright one here, you could put a couple bright ones here just to keep the eye moving around the piece. You know, you want it to kind of travel as it goes, as you look. Okay. Kind of feel like I need some orange up here. There we go. I wanted a little bit of separation between the white of her hair. Because like I said, I really want her face to stand out too. I want to give everybody equal opportunity shinage. And I love that her lower half is lighter because it pulls you down. Oh my goodness. I think I'm done. I'm going to get my white. First I'm going to do my little thingy here. Whoop. Oh, actually I wanted to do a little bit more. Maybe. Okay, I just want to keep going on her face. I love to make the marks, you know that. I love the mark making. I'm gonna put that there and grab my little stylus here. It's all a push and pull, right? Push, pull forward, push back, pull forward, push back. That's very cool. Okay. Well, this works because I've already put all those subtle whites all around. again, those are now pushed back because I put the whites in, put the bold white gesso. Just a little bit here and there. Okay, now I'm done. And just a recap. This is all the stencils. I used Whimsical Waves S321, and I used three. I used Scribble Scratch Handwriting L266, and I don't know where the other one went. It is probably right in front of me. I only used two. I used three. Oh, and this one, the Repetition Stencil M080. Okay, I think I'm done, you guys. I'm just going to sign my work, and away we go. If you do not have pastels, you can use markers to do this part stuff. You can do the alcohol marker to get the cool fades on things. Just remember, if you're working with a light pen like a yellow next to a red or a purple or something, clean your tips before you transition. Use the, clean your tips before you transition, otherwise you're going to keep getting, okay. Aha. There you go. I don't know how to fix that. I had to get a brush, a pencil. Okay. Yeah, you can use that. You can use paint. You could definitely do it in watercolor or, well, no, don't do watercolor. Stencils are hard with watercolor. They have their little, I haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm sure there's a way, but they're a little persnickety sometimes because they bleed underneath. But you could do it with marker. You could do it with acrylic paint. You just have to clean your stencil off really quick afterwards so it doesn't get all gross. You could do it with stamps, ink stamps. There's quite a few options. Okay, you guys? I'm going to peel one side, peel and reveal one side so you guys can see the gorgeous side border. The white crisp line, fingers crossed. I always heat it first before I peel it so I don't take any chances of ripping. Works 98% of the time. And then I also, oops, I did the wrong thing. I also pull flat against the table. And there you go. There you go. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I had a blast playing with Stencilgirl products. Total blast. I mean, sky's the limit. Your imagination can go crazy bonkers everywhere. So this was fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.